welcome. Today, we're stepping into the world of Times the Giver, Times a community where everything is carefully controlled. Imagine living in a place where there are rules for almost everything. No one makes big choices for themselves, and even emotions are kept in check. Right in the middle of this perfectly organized world is a boy named Jonas, and he's about to discover something that could change everything. All right, let's meet our main character, Jonas. As the story begins, he's feeling a little uneasy about what's coming next. But in his community, people are very careful about the words they use. So Jonas stops and thinks, am I really frightened? To him, that's an important question because using the wrong word can completely change what someone means. You see, in Jonas's community, words matter. People are expected to use exactly the right ones. So when Jonas thinks about how he's feeling, he realizes he's not truly frightened. The word he settles on is apprehensive, just nervous about what's coming. It's a small moment, but it tells us a lot about his world. If this is only apprehension, then what does real fear feel like? But Jonas does know what real fear feels like. He remembers it clearly from about a year earlier when a jet suddenly flew over the community, not once, but twice. That was a serious rule violation, and everyone was terrified. Even now, the memory of that frightening day still sticks with him. Then an announcement came over the speakers. A pilot in training had made a wrong turn and accidentally flown over the community. It sounds like a simple mistake, right? But then came the announcement about what would happen to him. The way it was delivered was calm, direct, and final, and that made it even more unsettling. So, what is this release they're talking about? In Jonas's community, it's the most serious punishment a person can receive. Being released means you've completely failed to follow the community's rules, and it's something people rarely even discuss. But here's what's interesting. Punishment isn't the only reason someone can be released. So, this is a society that controls language and strictly enforces its rules. But what about something as messy and unpredictable as feelings? Well, they have a system for that too. Every evening, families gather together for a ritual called the telling of feelings, where everyone shares the emotions they experienced that day. And it's all very organized. Jonas's younger sister Lily talks about being angry with another child at the playground. His father, a nurturer, shares his concern for a baby he's caring for. His mother, who works in the justice system, is frustrated with someone who keeps breaking the rules. After each person shares, the family calmly discusses the feeling and helps put it into perspective. In a way, emotions are carefully managed, just like everything else in their community. And during one of these family discussions, we learned something important about the word times release. For a newborn who isn't developing properly, release is described as a sad but necessary event. But for an adult who breaks the rules 3 times, release is considered a severe punishment. It's the same word, yet it seems to mean very different things depending on the situation, and that mystery only grows as the story continues. Then it's Jonas's turn. He's been unusually quiet during the discussion, and it's easy to see why. What he's feeling is a lot more complicated than a playground argument or a stressful day at work. Something important is weighing on his mind, and he isn't quite sure what to make of it yet. When Jonas finally speaks, he uses the same careful word he chose earlier, apprehensive. And what is he apprehensive about? The upcoming ceremony of 12. It's the event where every 12-year-old is assigned the job they'll have for the rest of their life. So, yes, Jonas is a little nervous and considering that this ceremony will shape his entire future. It's easy to understand why. Jonas's parents send Lily out of the room. This isn't an ordinary family discussion anymore. It's a serious conversation about the ceremony of 12. In Jonas's community, this is the day when each child is assigned their future role, the job they will do for the rest of their life. No wonder Jonas is feeling apprehensive. In Jonas's community, life is marked by a series of yearly ceremonies. When you're 1, you receive your name and are placed with a family. When you're 9, you receive a bicycle, an important step toward independence. But the ceremony of 12 is different. That's the moment when you're assigned your future role in the community, and from then on, your life is set on a specific path. At 12, you receive your assignment. And this isn't something you get to choose for yourself. The committee of elders decides what job you'll have for the rest of your life. They've been watching and evaluating every child for years, carefully deciding where each person will fit best in the community. Jonas's father tries to reassure him. He explains that for him, the assignment wasn't a surprise at all. He had always loved caring for new children and spent much of his volunteer time at the nurturing center. So when the elders assigned him the role of nurturer, it felt like a natural fit. In his case, the system worked exactly the way it was supposed to. But this conversation reveals something interesting. Even in a community with so many rules, people sometimes bend them. Jonas's father admits that he secretly looked at a list of new children's names before he was supposed to. He wanted to know the name of a baby named Gabriel because he thought it would help him care for him better. It's a small rule break, but it shows that people don't always follow the rules perfectly. Just like older children quietly helping younger ones learn to ride bicycles early, these small acts suggest that a little bit of independence still exists beneath the community's strict control. But even after hearing his father's story, Jonas realizes that the ceremony of 12 is about more than just getting a job. It's a major turning point in a person's life. After the ceremony, children begin leaving behind many parts of their childhood and stepping into their assigned roles. It's an exciting change, but it can also feel a little lonely. His mother explains it pretty clearly. After the ceremony of 12, childhood is essentially over. The free time you've spent with your friends becomes much more limited, and your focus shifts to learning your assignment. You'll spend most of your time with others training for the same role. It's a major life change, and it means many of the friendships you've grown up with may slowly drift apart. Jonas doesn't want to believe that. He insists that he and his best friend, Asher, will always stay close. But his parents respond with a gentle, understanding smile. They know what usually happens after the ceremony of 12. For the first time, Jonas begins to realize that this change is coming, whether he's ready for it or not. The conversation eventually ends, but Jonas's apprehension hasn't gone away. In fact, it feels stronger than ever. His father had always known what he loved doing, so his assignment made perfect sense. But Jonas is different. He spent his volunteer hours helping in many different places, and he has no idea what role the elders might choose for him. As the ceremony of 12 gets closer, the uncertainty only makes him more nervous. And that's the question hanging over everything. In a world where every part of life is carefully planned, where does Jonas fit in? He's thoughtful, observant, and still unsure of what his future holds. As the ceremony of 12 approaches, one question remains. What assignment have the elders chosen for him? Thank you for listening, and let's dive in more into Jonas's life in the next chapter. See you. If you'd like more personalized feedback, writing support, and discussion sessions, they're available with me or with our selected tutors. All the details are here.